Let's revise chapter number 2 under the GST, supply. Okay, taxable event. As you study under the income tax, like under income tax, what is taxable event? Like you earn income, you have to pay income tax. In custom, you do import export, you have to pay export import duty. Same like in GST, that taxable event is supply. Okay, if you do supply, then you have to pay GST. Plus composite or mixed supply. Sometimes we sell not a single goods, sometimes we combine the goods and services, then we sell it, we call it mixed or composite supply. So this whole chapter is covered under 2 sections and 3 schedules. Section number 7, supply. Section number 8, composite and mixed supply. Schedule 1 means supply without consideration. Schedule 2, activities or transaction treated as supply of goods or services. And schedule 3 is an active list, means we cannot consider it as a supply. Okay, this is overview of this chapter. Now, some important terms. What do you mean by the goods and services for the purpose of GST? Goods means any movable property and actionable claims. What it means? Like lottery, betting, gambling, your debt and the insurance. Okay, growing crops, grass and the things attached to lands. All these are goods. All these are goods. So what is service? Service means anything. Service means anything other than goods. So this wider scope of services. And use of money. Assume you have taken loan from bank and bank is charging interest from you. Then on that interest is covered under services. Okay. Or conversion of money. You converted your forex with any forex dealer, then it also considered as supply of services. Okay, but this exclude both goods and services, exclude money and the securities. Money and the securities. This is neither supply of goods, neither supply of services. Okay, right. Now, consideration. It means any payment in money. Either you are paying in cash, means in money, or otherwise, means other than money. Like doing any act or forbearance, means not doing any act. Against supply of goods or services paid by the recipient himself or any third person. Like on the behalf of employer, his employer will pay. So paid by the recipient or the third person. But doesn't include the subsidy by the CGNSG. This is not a consideration. Remember, here L is not covered, means local authority is not covered. If an amount paid by local authority, we can consider it as a consideration. Is it clear? Right. Okay. Note, deposit to be considered as a payment only when applied as a consideration for the said supply. Like I install the Wi-Fi services at my home and I have paid 3,000 rupees as a deposit. So this will not be considered as consideration until unless this is applied as a consideration. Let's take example. I forget to pay amount for this month. Okay, so he deducted out of this 750 rupees for this month charges of Wi-Fi. Then this will be considered as a consideration. Only then. Is that clear? Right. Okay. Now, what do you mean by the business? What do you mean by the business? So it includes. So you need not to learn this definition. Okay, just read it. So business include trade, commerce, manufacture, profession, vocation facilitated by the club to its members. Admission to any premise like zoo, movie halls, race club, bookmaker. So everything is business. Okay. So this line is important. Means any other business activity for profit or not for profit. Just take an example. A confectionery shopkeeper selling a candy, but at the last when that box empty, he sell that empty box in garbage. That is also supply. That is also supply. That is also considered as a part of business. His main business is not selling that empty boxes. His main business is not that selling the empty boxes, but his main business is selling that candies. But he also selling that empty boxes is also considered as his business. Okay, like I am using this pen tablet. I am selling my books, my classes, but when I sell this pen tablet, this is also considered as part of my business. Okay, this is also considered the supply. I have to pay GST on it. Is it clear? Right. Now, related person means RP under the GST. Its memory technique is PAT LBDP. PAT LBDP. P, partner, you are a partner, officer or a director. Employer and employee, then you are RP under GST. Together, they control a third person. Together, they control a third person. Like, he is Ram and he is Shyam. They are controlling a Ghanshyam. Ghanshyam. Then in that case, that Ram and Shyam are RP under a GST. Is it clear? Okay. Direct or indirect control or share held more than 25%. Principal and the agent, both of them controlled by a third person. Again, Ram and the Shyam is controlled by a Ghanshyam. Then in that case, this Ram and Shyam are again RP. Okay. Both of them controlled by a third person. Both of them controlled by a third person. Right? Okay. Now, same family members. Spouse. If you are a wife, then your husband. If you are husband and your wife, means your spouse and the children. It's always RP. It's always related. Okay. But your parents, your grandparents and your brother, sisters. Real one. Real one. Not of chachas, mamas, your real one. If depend upon you, only then these are RP under the GST. Okay? Okay. So PAT LBDP. PAT LBDP, you have to learn it. Okay? Now, distinct person. Separate registration. Separate registration, whether, as we know, we have to register state-wise under the GST. We have to take registration state-wise under the GST. So, separate registration, whether in same state or UT. Okay, this is your choice. This is not compulsory. You have to take separate registration. This is your choice. This is your choice. Okay. So, it means if you have taken separate registration in a state or different state, this is compulsory. Then in that case, you are considered as a distinct person. As a distinct person. Like stock transfer from Gurgaon to Rohtak branch under the same registration, then no distinct person because under the same registration. Okay, if Gurgaon and the Rohtak were separately registered, even though same state, then these are distinct person for the purpose of GST. Is it clear? Okay. आओ आगे देखते हैं. Establishment of distinct person. One registered establishment in a state. Okay. The second establishment in different state or UT. Not necessarily be registered. Either register or not register. Then these are considered as establishment of a distinct person. Right? Example, registered restaurant in Haryana and unregistered liquor shop in Mumbai. Then these are establishment. These are establishment of the distinct person. Okay? Right. Now, the next is section number 7. This is also important. This is very much important. Here. Supply. Section number 7.1. Supply include. Supply include. For a consideration, without a consideration. For a consideration, without a consideration. Right? Okay. So, for a consideration, 7.1a, 7.1b and 7.1a. 7.1a, 7.1b and 7.1a. Okay. So, all form of supply. All form of supply. Means everything is supply. All form of supply. What lawmaker says? All form of supply means everything is supply of goods or services or both. What lawmaker says? All form of supply means everything is supply of goods, services or both. Such as. These are just examples. Okay. Such as. These are just examples like sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, rental, lease and disposal. Okay. Some example are given here. You can just read this. What do you mean by sale, transfer, disposal? Some example are given. Just you can read this. Okay. Right. See here. So, made or agree to be made means you have received the advance by a person. So person cover every person, individual, company, HUF, AOP, BI, everything is covered here. In the course or furtherance of business means for business purpose, right? If I am selling my old phone, but I am not doing the business of selling the mobile phones, okay, so it's not for business purpose, it's not a supply, okay, it must be for a business purpose in the course or furtherance of business. Is it clear? Right. 7.1b, import of services either for the personal purpose or business purpose, doesn't matter. If you import services in India, for import of goods is covered under custom, not GST. Okay. Now we are talking about the import of services. If you import services in India, I repeat, if you import services in India for a consideration, then it always be supply, either for personal purpose or for business purpose. If you paid amount for import of services, it will definitely be import, it will definitely be supply of services. Okay. Now, so 7.1AA, activities or transaction by a person other than individual, like club, society, AOP, BOI, to its member or constituents for a cash, deferred payment or other valuable consideration, means for any consideration. Now, explanation, that person means that AOP, that club, that society and its members are treated as separate person, as a distinct person. What it means? Let's take example that tenants of society form a club and the club procure the beverage items and provide to members when required on a sale basis. Means that club is selling some beverage to its members. Then that club and its member are considered as a separate person, as a distinct person. Okay. So any goods supplied by that club to its members are considered as a supply of goods. Then these are supply and GST will be levied on it. Is it clear? Okay. Now, the next is section number 7.1c, means activities specified in the schedule 1. So try. Government try to cover these transaction, these activities under the supply without consideration. Government try to cover these transaction, these activities under scope of supply even without consideration. So try is meme technique to learn this. T, permanent transfer or disposal of business asset on which ITC has been availed. Okay. Example, holding company asset transfer for nil consideration to its subsidiary, then it is supply without consideration. Now, Dhruv gives old laptop being used in his business to his friend free of cost. This will qualify as supply if ITC has been availed by the Dhruv on this laptop. If laptop ITC is taken, then it is supply without consideration. If ITC is not taken, that is it is no supply without consideration. Is it clear? Now, supply between related person and distinct person. So try. T, transfer are related person and distinct person. Only for the business purpose. Example, stock transfer between the branches. Supply even without consideration, because these are distinct person. Exception is by employer to employee, gift up to 50k is allowed. Okay, up to 50k is allowed per employee per year. Note, incentive is not a gift like production and sale bonus. These are allowed and covered under the schedule 3 as a part of salary. So it's a not supply. Okay. The next is supply of goods, only goods, not services. Supply of goods, only goods, not services, by a principal to his agent. Where agent undertakes to supply the such goods on behalf of principal. Okay, that principal is sending goods to agent. That agent sell the goods on behalf of principal. If agent gives his own invoice to final consumer, that agent is giving his own invoice. Then in that case, that transfer by principal to agent without consideration, we qualify it as a supply. When agent giving his own invoice. Okay. Similarly, that agent by an agent to its principal, where agent undertakes to receive such goods on behalf of principal. There is supplier. There is an agent. That agent is receiving the goods on behalf of principal. Okay. But that invoice is name of agent. The supplier giving the invoice is on name of agent. Okay. Then agent again gives his own invoice to principal on sending those goods. Then in that case, it is qualified as a supply without consideration. Means agent issuing his own invoice. Okay. Right. Now, the next is import of services. Under 7.1b, it is for consideration. It is for consideration. But under 7.1c, schedule 1, without consideration, you are importing the services. Plus from the RP or the own establishment, from distinct person. Plus in the course of the furtherance of business, means for business purpose. Only in that case, we can call it supply without consideration. Now, see this chart. Clarification regarding the import of services, not goods. Goods covered under the custom, not under GST. So, if with consideration for business purpose or personal purpose, doesn't matter. It is always a supply. It is always a supply. But for without consideration, then you have to check two conditions, for business purpose and from RP या फिर distinct person. From the RP या फिर distinct person. Okay. Plus, then we call it a supply. Otherwise, not supply. Is it clear? Right. So here some example are given. Just go through it. Okay. So a doctor got his hair cut from a barber and provide him medical consultancy in return. What is this? This is a barter. This is a barter. Supply under the schedule, section number 7.1a. Salman Khan receives the interior design services for his residential house from the Japan for a yen 5,000. So there is consideration. You are importing the services and there is a consideration. It is always a supply. 7.1b, personal purpose plus consideration. Pappu and the company received the legal services from Dubai for $200. Again, import of services for a consideration, always apply for business purpose and the consideration. 7.1b. Now, Rahul obtained the consultancy services from his son staying in the Canada for his office purpose without for any consideration. So, son is RP for business purpose and there is no consideration. Then it is supply under the schedule 1, 7.1c. Okay. Shivam Nagpal and company chartered accountants donated his own laptop in charity to CA student. ITC taken on them. Then supply under the schedule 1 without consideration. Okay, because ITC is taken on this, no consideration, we call it supply. Now, Modi Private Limited sold old cars for 2 lakh. It is supply under the 7.1a, furtherance of business plus consideration. Okay. Modi Private Limited sold old cars, means they are using this car for business purpose. They are using this car for business purpose. Okay, then we call it as a business part for the furtherance of business and there is consideration. It is supply. Now, Jetha gifted a mobile worth 50k to his Daya, means that owner of shop give mobile free of cost to his wife Daya. Then there is no consideration, there is no supply because this is for personal purpose. Okay, there is no business purpose. Related person, but not for business purpose, hence not covered under the schedule 1. Jetha gifted a mobile of 60k to Baga, means that owner of shop gives mobile free of cost to his employee, means Baga. Then allowed up to 50k. If 1 rupee is more, then whole amount is considered as supply. Okay, as gift to employee, value more than 50k is GST applicable on entire amount of 60k. Right? Under 7.1c schedule 1. Okay. Now, see here. Schedule 2. Whether it is supply of goods or services. GST make it clear. So, number 1 is transfer of goods. Transfer of goods. Title in goods. You go to a shop and buy a Dairy Milk chocolate and you became owner of that chocolate. Then it's a supply of goods. You get title of that chocolate. You became owner of that goods. It's a supply of goods. Again, title in goods at a future date. You buy a LED TV at installment at hire purchase basis. It is also a supply of goods, not services. Then right in goods. It's a supply of services. You go to a beach, Goa beach, and you take on rent a motorbike to run in sea beach. Then you get title, you get right to use that bike. You doesn't become the owner of that bike. Okay, you get right for some time. It's a supply of services. Right? The next is transfer of business asset. Okay, see here. Permanent transfer and disposal. It's a supply of goods. Temporary transfer or put to private use. That my father runs a electronic shop. I go to my shop and take this home theater with me. Use this for 2-3 days and send it back to shop for selling. Then it's a supply of services. On closure of business cease to be taxable person. In beginning, you have taken the ITC and you have closed your business. Then it's a supply of goods. You have to pay GST on it. What is the exception? You have transferred your business as a going concern to third party or business carried on by the representative. Your son, your mother, your wife, anyone. Okay. Now, land and building. So, any lease, tenancy, letting out of land and building is supply of services. Renting of property is supply of services, but construction of a building and a civil structure is supply of services. But you need to keep in mind that consideration should be received before issuance of the completion of certificate and occupation, whichever is earlier. That first occupation and CC means completion certificate, whichever is earlier. You have get money, paid money before this, then it is supply of services. Okay, here before word is important. At after would be treated as sale of land and building, means which is outside the scope of GST. It covers under schedule 3, active list. Okay, see here example that construction services, that flat value is 80 lakh rupees. Before completion receive 40 lakh rupees one time and 20 lakh rupees one time, and after completion receive 20 lakh rupees. Then taxable value for GST is entire 80 lakh rupees. Okay, second example is you receive 1 rupees before completion and remaining amount after the completion. Then taxable value for GST is 80 lakh rupees. Okay, if you receive nothing before completion and entire amount received after the completion, then no taxable, covered under schedule 3. It's a sale of land and building. Okay, it's not supply. Is that clear? Right. Now see here. So software, customized software or license is a supply of services. Ready-made software is goods. This is simple. And intangible property, like permanent transfer is supply of goods and temporary transfer is supply of services, like patent. Simple. This is simple. Okay. Now the sixth point is always supply of services. Okay, like restaurant catering is supply of services, work contact services, job work means any treatment or process applied to another person, goods. Now, having to obligation to refrain from an act, to tolerate an act and to do an act is supply of services. Example is non-compete agreement. Okay, these are simple, not so complicated. You can just read it. Okay, now the next is schedule 3. Negative list. Lawmaker says we know these are supply. But we are putting this into a negative list. We do not consider these as a supply. Okay. Now, if government levy GST on this transaction, these items, then we got heart attack. I repeat, if government levy GST on this transaction, this item, then we got heart attack. Then we go to the ECG lab. ECG lab. So what we will do in lab? We will do Havan. HWN. So this is MABME technique to learn this schedule 3. ECG lab Havan. ECG lab Havan. Okay. Now let's learn this with animation. Okay. Okay. Now. So schedule 3. Negative list not treated as supply means no GST on it. ECG lab Havan. ECG lab Havan. Okay. See here. So supply under employer and the employee relationship. So any amount you get as an employee, then that amount is not covered under GST. It is not a supply. It includes any amount paid as a premature termination. Premature termination. It is also not a supply. Wages paid to a casual worker. Like you are running a ice cream business. Okay, you paid any salary to your worker on casual basis, on half yearly, because half year your business is not running. Then it is also a cover under here. It's not supply. Salary to director. Okay, if it is under section number 192, means as an employee, he is working as an employee. Okay, then it is covered under here. It's included here. Then it is not a supply. But if salary paid to director, his TDS is deducting under the other than 192, means 194J as a professional, then it is supply and taxable under the RCM. Company will pay tax under RCM. You know that. Okay. It is exclude, means these are taxable. These are supply. Right. So the next is non-compete, contractual basis. You have given contract to any person to some any work, then it say he is not working as an employee, he is working separately on contractual basis. So it is taxable. It is taxable. Non-compete fees. Non-compete fees. Okay. This is also a supply, not covered here. This is also supply, taxable. Okay. So ECG lab Havan. ECG lab Havan. E, employer and employee relationship. Employer and employee relationship. Now see here, clarification is there. Prerequisites provided by employer to its employee in term of contract then not treated as supply even under schedule 3. Okay. What do you mean by the prerequisites? It means like employer providing the car to its employee, providing the medical facilities. These are the prerequisites. If these are part of the contract of services, okay, then covered under schedule 3, not supply. If these are not part of contract of services, then value more than 50K is taxable under schedule 1, because up to 50K gift is allowed to its employee. You know that? Right. Okay. The next is service by the court. ECG lab Havan. So see, service by the court like Supreme Court, High Court, District Court or Tribunal. Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission, also considered as tribunal for this purpose, means not considered as supply their services. Right? Okay, not supply. The next is ECGG, service by the government. MP, MLA, member of local authority. MP, MLA, member of local authority, duties on constitutional post, or any chairman, member, director of body established by the government. These are not deemed employee, means these are not employee. If these are employee, then cover under first point. We are talking about the chairperson, members and the director of body established by the government. These are not employee. Then these are covered here. These are also not supply. Service provided by them is also not a supply. Okay. Now ECG lab L, sale of land and building, except schedule 2. So clarification, that sale of land, you are selling a land, after the labeling, laying down of drainage line, like you are selling this land. After the labeling, after laying down of drainage line, water line, electricity, we will not consider it as you have provided services. You have provided services. We will not consider as you have provided services. We consider it as you are selling only the land. Okay, this is allowed. Doing this is allowed. Okay. Sale of land after labeling, like this is considered as sale of land only, not supply. Okay, this is allowed. Now, see here. Now, ECG lab. So, actionable claim other than lottery, betting, gambling. So, what do you mean by the actionable claim? It means lottery, betting, gambling, secured debt or insurance. So, other than lottery, betting, gambling, these are still under GST. These are still under GST. We are talking about other than lottery, betting, gambling, like secured debt, insurance and other are covered under Schedule 3. These are not supplied. Okay, right. Now, see here. The next is services of funeral, burial, mortuary, including the transportation of deceased person. राम नाम सत्य है, right? So all these are covered under Schedule 3. These are not supplied. Okay. And next is high sea sale. Let's take example. There is supplier of USA. There is supplier of goods in USA and buyer in India. Means original buyer, importer in Delhi. When goods are in high sea, then subsequent sale to importer in Bangalore in India. That B sell the goods to C in Bangalore, India. Then it's called a high sea sale. High sea sale. This is covered under Schedule 3. GST is not levied on it. Okay, this is not supplied under GST. The next is supply of warehouse goods for before home consumption. Okay, this is not warehouse of Indian manufacturer. This is warehouse of custom. When we import goods, when goods are under this custom warehouse, and we sell goods when goods are under warehouse before home consumption, then it is not supply. GST is not levied on it. It is covered under custom. Okay, right. Okay, supply of goods by non-taxable territory, means outside India to a non-taxable territory, like from Russia to USA. Okay, here is a person. He is selling the goods from Russia to USA. Here is supplier. Here is buyer. And India is only dealer. So under this case, the sale is happening from non-taxable territory to non-taxable territory. Goods are not coming in India. It's not a supply under the GST. GST will not be levied on this. Is it clear? Right. Now, so government may notifies. Government has power to notify. So by using this power, government has notified on recommendation of GST Council. Okay. So two activities notified till now. Number one is activities in Article 243G, means panchayat activities, and 243W means municipality activities, like this garbage van that come at your home daily, and the grant of alcohol liquor for human consumption to by state government. Its license is not supplied. Is it clear? Okay. Now, there are some clarification. Just go through this. Okay. Circular and clarifications. This is important. Now, donation received by a charitable institution for individual from individual donor without quid pro quo. Without quid pro quo means nothing is to be done by the trust in return. If all the conditions satisfy, then not supply. Just you donate some money to any trust. Like there is a girl who donated Srimati Malati Devi in the memory of her father. She donated this table to a trust. Okay, so trust put his name here as donated by Srimati Malati Devi in memory of her father. Okay, then, so gift or donation to a charitable institution, either in cash or in kind, payment in terms of gift or donation. Plus, the purpose is philanthropic. Okay, not advertisement, means no commercial gain, and it is not a supply. It is not a supply because there is no consideration. It is not supply, there is no consideration. Merely displaying the nameplate for gratitude is not a consideration. As we put there his name, her name, like she donated this in her father memory, it is not supply, it is not a consideration. Okay, this is allowed. This is allowed. If we are putting there Shivam Nagpal, chartered accountant, best teacher in the India, please take his classes, then it is advertisement. There is commercial gain. Okay, just putting her name is not a consideration, not advertisement. Is it clear? Right. Now, artwork sent by the artist to gallery for exhibition. So, you make a painting and send it to a gallery for exhibition like this. Then, so till it is not sold, means no consideration received, it's a not supply. When any person came here, purchase here, pay the money, then it is supply. Means sold from the exhibition, then it is supply, and GST is payable. Okay. The next is clarity on the course or furtherance of business. Clarity on the course or furtherance of business. So GST is essentially a tax on commercial transaction. GST is essentially a tax on commercial transaction, right? Okay. So sale of personal car, like you sell your personal car, it's not a supply because not for business purpose. You are selling your old car, or your mom is selling her own old jewelries. It's also a not supply because not for the business purpose. I repeat, this is not for the business purpose. But so selling the old jewelry after use, these are not supply because there is no business purpose. But a famous actor paints a painting like Salman Khan is making a painting. He knows his painting will sell for crores. Okay, he is not making for personal purpose. He knows his painting will sold under crores. Okay, and sell them and donate the money. It is supply because he is doing for earning the money to sell that painting in crores. He is doing the business. Okay, it is supply. Now, donating, the earning will have no impact. You can do anything with that money. You can keep with yourself. You can give your children, your parents. You can donate that. Doesn't mean you have made the painting for earning the money. Your purpose is business purpose. It's a supply. Okay. Now the next is tenancy right taxability. Pagdi system. Okay. So there is owner. He gives his home on rent to tenant. He charges the rent plus tenancy premium. This is rent. This is right to rent further. This is right to rent further. Again, that tenant A transfer this tenancy right to tenant B and charge some money from tenant B. That transfer of tenancy right against the premium. He charged the premium amount for transfer of this tenancy right. It is supply of services. However, that rent charge on the residential dwelling is exempt. This is the exempt. We know that. Now, sale promotion scheme. What is this? Okay, sale promotion scheme, like giving the free sample, buy one get one free. Okay, now see here. So free samples and the goods, then no consideration is not supply except schedule 1. Except schedule 1. Okay, like the pharmaceutical companies which provide drug sample to their stockist, dealer, medical practitioner without charging any consideration, it is not supply except schedule 1. If they have taken ITC on them, then it is supply without consideration. If not, then not supply. Is it clear? Buy one get one free offer. Buy one get one free offer. Buy one specs, one get free. Buy. Okay. So This is not without consideration, as two or more goods supplied at a single price applies the provision of composite or mixed supply. Okay, that person is not foolish who is giving you buy one get one free. Okay, he is very clever. He is charging a single price for two pants, for two specs. Okay, he is not a foolish person. He is very much clever. He is selling you two things at a single price. Two things at a single price. Okay, two creams at a single price. He is not foolish. He is very clever. He is selling you two creams for a single price, like for 500. Okay, then we applies provisions of the composite and the mixed supply that we study in section number 8. Is that clear? Okay, now the next is principal and agent relationship. This is clear under schedule 1. We have already covered it. This is also covered under the schedule 3. First point. Okay, this is repeated now. What do you mean by the Dell creditory agent? Means DCA, Dell creditory agent. Now see here. So Dell creditory agency. So there is a seller, there is a principal. He want to sell his goods on credit, but facing the issue to get amount of goods sold on credit. So he get an agent who is broker of principal. He undertakes the guarantee of credit which is extended to buyer. He takes the guarantee. He takes the guarantee for payment. Takes guarantee for payment. He is liable to extend of amount to that seller. Now, this is clear. So, is selling agent engaged by the principal to assist in supply of goods, services by contracting the potential buyers on behalf of principal. He is acting as an agent. This is clear. That DCA for guarantee timely payment. He guarantees the payment to principal. Okay, he is DCA. And DCA provide various loans to buyer and paying to supplier himself. He gives loan to buyer and paying to supplier himself. He is charging from the customer interest, etc. and recover the amount from the buyers after some time with interest. This is simple. Now, the question arises, so how the interest is treated in this case? That interest amount he is charging, that agent charging from the customer, what is the treatment for that interest is here? Okay, as we know that any interest charged by the any bank, any third party, any financial institution, yeah, any person is exempt, but a salesman who is selling the goods, I repeat, a salesman who is selling the goods, he himself gives the credit. A salesman, a businessman who is selling the goods, he himself providing the credit to customer. Then it will be part of value of supply as per section number 15. We know that. Okay. So in this case, you have to check invoice is on whose name. Invoice of original supply is on whose name? Principal or agent? If the invoice, okay, if loan given by the agent is an independent supply, okay, means invoice is on name of principal, and loan given by the agent as a third party, then invoice is on name of principal and loan given by the agent as third party, it is exempt. But if the invoice is name of agent and he is giving the credit and charging the interest, then this interest will become part of value of supply. It is taxable. Interest on loan will form part of value of original goods supplied and not considered as a supply. Second, interest on loan will form part of value of original goods supply and not considered as a separate supply. Okay. Means it form a part of value supply. It is taxable. It is not exempt. This is not separate. It is part of value of supply. Okay. The next is interstate movement of various mode of conveyance. Means you are selling goods in different state, then that truck, that bus, that tankers, that trailers, wheelers and containers, aircraft, taking your goods to that state. Then GST will be levied on your goods, not that truck, trail, rail or bus. Okay, GST will be levied only on the goods, not on truck or rail, right? Now, conveyance carrying the goods, passenger or both, treated neither as supply of goods, supply of services, means no GST on it. But conveyance for repair maintenance, you are sending a conveyance for repair and maintenance. Then on that conveyance, there is no GST liability, but on the repair and maintenance services, charges, GST is payable. Or your business is selling the cars, trucks, you are manufacturing a car and sending it to showroom, a branch owner. Then conveyance moved for the supply. Then the supply of goods, supply of services, IGST will be levied. Is that clear? Okay. Same treatment for the rigs, tools and spare part. Okay. Taxability of the joint venture. Cash calls in terms of capital contribution. Again, a joint venture have its members. They have investing some money in that joint venture, means transaction in money. It's not supply. But that joint venture providing any services, any goods to its member, or its member providing any services, any goods to joint venture. Cash call again is service provided by the operating members. Member providing services to its joint venture or vice versa. Then it is supply. Lekin transaction in money, investing money in that joint venture is not supply. This is clear. Now the next is mold, dies, owned by the original equipment manufacturer, is given free of cost. Like this is Maruti Suzuki. Maruti Suzuki manufactures, car manufacturers. They have given order for making the tires to a component manufacturer for making a tire, and they are giving free of cost that molds and dies for making the tires to that component manufacturer as no supply. This is no supply as there is no consideration involved. Also both are not RP. These are not related. These are not distinct person. Providing the free of cost and GST will not be levied on it. This is not supply. This is not covered under schedule. Is it clear? Okay. Now the next is cost profit petroleum taxability. Now his government giving the license to explore the crude and the gases to a contractor. In return, government gets royalty. GST is payable on it. We know that. But when this contractor sells that petroleum and gases, total sales will less the cost petroleum, like exploration cost, that royalty also will be deducted here. Now the next is petroleum profit. It has two parts. One he keep with himself and one part he gave to the government. So government get royalty and also as a part of his profit. Okay, royalty is taxable, but that profit is exempt. Part of profit is exempt. This is whole story. Okay. Now next is special circumstances related to goods and services. See here, transaction in money, like giving the loans, advances. We are not talking about the interest. We are talking about the transaction in money, like giving the loans, advance. It is not supply. Money is not supply. Issuance of the letter of credit, bank guarantee is not supply. Issuance of the certificate of deposit and commercial paper is not supply. Activities related to above product like fees, brokerage, transfer fees is supply. Future and forward with delivery means your purpose is buy to get the goods behind that future. Okay, it's a supply. But if you are trading in future and forward without delivery, it's not supply because these are transaction in securities. Interest and discount is supply, but exempt temporary provided by a third party, not that supply. Okay, facilitation and arranging the transaction in securities is supply, like brokerage fees paid to broker. Is it clear? Okay. Now the next is security lending scheme. Here is a lender. Okay, means owner of that security, he lends security to a borrower. In between there is a clearing agent of recognized stock exchange. He charges his commission. It is taxable under GST. Now that borrower paid the lending fees to that agent. He transferred to the lender. Now, this lending fees paid by the borrower is taxable under the GST under the RCM by the borrower itself. You studied this under the RCM chapter. In that case, that borrower himself pay that amount under the RCM. This is taxable. We are talking about this. Okay. Now, priority sector lending certificate, PSLCs, note securities. This is point of view of CBIC, that they call it PSLCs, note security. It's a goods and IGST will be levied always. Okay, at the rate of 12%. You have to cram this. The next is, okay, section number 8, composite and the mixed supply. Composite and the mixed supply. Sometimes we will sell mixing some goods, services together. We will call it composite or mixed supply. So what do you mean by the composite supply or mixed supply? First is composite supply. Condition: 2 or more taxable supplies. 2 or more taxable supplies. These are naturally bundled. Like you buy any book from shivamnapaclasses.com. You buy the smart book, right? Then plus you alone get delivery of that book. That delivery of that book also. So here we are providing that goods, means that book plus service also together. So this is a composite supply. Here 2 or more taxable supply. These are naturally bundled. These are naturally bundled. Okay. If you buy the books, I have to deliver to you at your home. Okay. These are naturally bundled. And one of them is principal supply. That you are buying that book, not delivery services. Okay. You are buying that book from our website, not that delivery services. These are ancillary. This is ancillary and this is principal supply, that book. Okay. If all conditions satisfied, we call it composite supply. Otherwise, mixed supply. Like you take a hotel on rent, hotel room on rent, then you will get breakfast along it. So here main is your hotel you have taken on rent. This is principal supply. Okay. And breakfast is ancillary to it. And this is composite supply. Because this is naturally bundled. This is naturally bundled. It is so obvious that you have taken on rent any room of hotel, you will definitely get breakfast here. Okay. But if you have buy a pen and you are getting along a tie, these are not naturally bundled. This is a mixed supply. This is a mixed supply. This is a composite supply. Is it clear? Now, tax rate, treatment. That composite supply, tax rate applicable on the principal supply. Like if you buy any book from us, then rate on that book. If you take rent, hotel room, then rate on that room, not on breakfast. Okay. If mixed supply, then the highest rate of the tax rate on the supply inward. Like on this pen is 5% and on this tie is 12%. Then we apply the highest rate, means 12% here. Is it clear? Okay. Now see here. What do you mean by the principal supply? Means predominant element in the combination and the other supply forming part of the that composite supply is ancillary. Means main क्या है? Main क्या है? आपने हमारे you have buy from our website is our book, not the transport services, not transport services. Okay. This is ancillary. This is principal. Now, what do you mean by the naturally bundled? Whether combination made is a bundle in the ordinary course of business. These factors you need to consider. Number 1 is normal business practice. Normally businessmen sell it together. Consumer perception and the ancillary services help in better enjoyment of the main services. Okay. Normally advertise as it together. This is just theory. Just read it and left it. Okay. Now, some example are given. You can just read it. The next is extra analysis. Again, just read it and left it. This is extra for your understanding. Right? Okay. Now, note, more than one supply made together and tax it at the individual date. You go to a shop, you buy a Maggi, Kurkure, Pepsi from a shop and shopkeeper make a single bill and show the each item separately. So this is normal supply. This is neither composite, this is neither mixed, this is simple supply, taxable at the individual rate of that item. Right? When both supplies carries individual significance, separate consideration is indicated and charged. Okay, that person is not selling for the single price, not for single price. Okay, this is normal supply. You have to keep in mind this. Shall be charged at the respective applicable rate to particular supply. Okay. Now some more clarification and circular. What they says, see here. Printing services, like a supplier and recipient, he is giving the content given by the recipient, and supplier providing the paper and the printing services. So case 1 and case 2. Case 1 and case 2. See here. He is printing the books, pamphlets, brochures and the annual report, where the content is principal, where content is main, that book is main, that book's of copy is main. He is just printing that book. He is just printing that book. So it says supply of services, but he is selling a envelope, printed boxes, tissues, napkin, where logo, design, ancillary to supply of physical input. Okay, he is selling the material, just printing the logo of a caters. He is selling the napkin, tissues for a caters and just printing the his logo. So what is main here? Here is that envelope, that printed box is main, means that physical input is main. It's a supply of goods, not services. Okay. Now, activity of bus body building. So here lawmaker says, CBIC says that determined on the basis of fact and circumstances of each case. We have to check in each case whether it is supply of goods or services. Okay. The trading of tires. Now all tires belong to supplier. Okay, that all tires belong to supplier itself, then supply of goods. But all tires belong to recipient, then it is supply of service. Now this is newly added, this is recent amendment. Now see here, GST applicability on the liquidated damages. Okay, compensation, penalty and arising out of breach of the contract and other provision of law. As we know that the expression agreeing to obligation to refrain from an act, to tolerate an act, situation or to do an act has 3 limbs, means cover under schedule 2, it's a supply of services, we know that, but it has 3 limbs. Number 1 is refrain from an act, means non-compete agreement, means not doing any act, not doing any act. The second one is tolerate an act, like a shopkeeper allow a hawker to operate a for monthly payment, like to sell juice to some to set up his cart, like selling the golgappa or selling juices, etc. Now the next is, third one is to do an act. So means doing any act, doing any act, right? See example, industry agree to install the zero emission equipment. There is no legal requirement against the amount paid by the neighbors. Okay, so that neighbors keep healthy. So to be qualified as a supply of services, these 3 transactions to be qualified, I repeat, these 3 transactions to be qualified as supply of services, we have to check there should be a contract. Number 1, there should be a contract either express or implied, plus there is a consideration. There must be contract, there must be contract to refrain from an act, tolerate an act or to do an act. There must be separate contract either express or implied, and there is consideration for it, then it is supply of services, otherwise not supply. It is clear? Now taxability of some transaction in this regard. like liquidated damages. What it means compensation payable to aggrieved party for breach of contract. Means amount paid as a compensation, where the amount is paid only to compensate for injury, loss, damage suffered by the aggrieved party. There is no agreement by the aggrieved, hence no taxable. Means you and me enter into a contract. Okay, if I break that contract, if I not fulfill that contract, then I will pay to you any amount as a compensation. There is no contract between that. I will break that contract and I will pay that money to you. Okay, I am just paying this money to compensate you for your injury, loss and damage. We are not playing like that ki I will break that contract and I will pay you. We are making a contract to fulfill that contract. Okay, if I break that contract, I am paying that money to you to compensate for your injury, for your loss, for your damages suffered by you. Okay, so it's a no taxable. Some example I've given here. Next, if payment represent the consideration for another independent contract, if there is a separate contract between us, that I will break that contract and I will pay you that money to compensate you, then it is supply and GST is liable on it at rate of principal supply. Like security deposit for future for cancelled tour package. This happen mostly, they initially charge some amount as deposit. This is their daily routine, that mostly people book the tour package and then cancel it. Okay, then they for future that amount of deposit. Okay, it's a supply. There is a contract between you and that tour provider, right? The next is check dishonor, fine and penalty, not taxable. There is no contract that supplier want to receive the payment and there is no implied and express willingness of the supplier to earn from the fine. I am a shopkeeper, you have given me to a check. Okay, that check get dishonor. Okay, you are making payment to me for buying any goods and services from me. You are making payment to me, but if that check get dishonor, you have to pay some fine and penalty to me. It's not supply because there is no such contract between us that check will dishonor and you will pay fine to me. You are just paying to compensate. Okay, right? Penalty imposed for violation of laws, also no taxable, no contract. Forfeiture of salary for pre-termination, again no taxable. Okay, late payment, surcharge and fees, as per section number 15, this will become part of value of supply. We know that. Then fixed capacity charges for power, that minimum fixed amount payable even if 0 units electricity is consumed is not taxable at GST is exempt from the electricity is exempt from the GST. It is not covered under GST, right? Okay. And next is cancellation charges. Again, that hotel accommodation and the tour operator charge any amount as a deposit. They forfeiture it. It is taxable at the rate of principal supply because there is a separate contract at initial stage. Is it clear? The next is forfeiture of earnest money. So forfeiture of earnest money in case like breach of agreement to sell the immovable property is not a consideration for any supply. Means if you want to buy any property, so you have to deposit some amount initially. We call it earnest money. So if that person forfeited that money, is not supply. Okay, is not taxable. Okay, this is maybe your point of view is different from it. This is this view taken by the CBIC. This view taken by the CBIC, you have to cram it and learn it for the exam purpose. Okay, this is not a law. This is just a clarification. You can go against it in the court, in the Supreme Court, in the High Court. But CBIC I clarified it. You have to learn for the exam purpose only this. Okay, right? Okay. The next is taxability of no claim bonus offered by the insurance company. So no claim bonus is a discount. Like you have taken insurance for your car. Okay. You paid the premium for this. If you not get any accident, if you not get an accident, then that insurance company gives you bonus that in next month you have to pay your premium less 2000 rupees. Okay, this is bonus. Now what is happening, that insurance company is giving you bonus if you not meet to any, you not get any accident. Now that customer buy the insurance policy to indemnify himself. Okay, now they are saying that we doing see here, means refrain from an act, means not doing any act, means not doing any act. You are not where it is, you are not get any accident, you keep your car safe, means not doing anything is supply, not doing anything is supply, and in consideration you are getting that bonus. So now question arises whether it is supply or not. So lawmaker clarify here that customer buy the insurance policy to indemnify himself for any loss not under any contractual obligation, not to claim the insurance claim during any period covered under the policy. We have taken that insurance policy to indemnify ourselves if we get accident. Okay, we are not playing that like that. I will not get my car to accident and you will give me bonus next month. Okay, there is no contract like that. Okay, so this is not supply. Okay, that amount is not covered liable to GST, not liable to GST. Mean this is discount, like our premium for next month is 13,000. If we less this 2,000, we have to pay GST on the 11,000 only. Okay, right. Now let's do some important question of this chapter. See here. So Sudama Associate, a registered supplier, disposes the computer owned by the business without consideration. It has not claimed the ITC on the such computer. So he disposing the computer, old computer, and ITC is not taken. So if ITC is not taken, then it is not supply under Schedule 1. Allowed, no problem. So therefore, that disposal of computer by Sudama Associate is not a supply, as the ITC has not been availed on the same, right? Okay. Second point is saying that Prithvi Enterprises appoints a Champak to procure the certain goods from the market, and Champak identifies the various suppliers who can provide the goods as desired by the Prithvi Enterprises, and ask supplier that Satya manufacturer to send the goods and issue the invoice directly to Prithvi Enterprise. Now the invoice is on whose name? It is on the name of principal. So invoice is in name of the principal. So it's a not supply without consideration. He is not working as an agent under the Schedule 1. He is not an agent under the Schedule 1. It's not supply. Okay. If the invoice is on the name of agent, then it is supply without consideration. Okay. So Champak is only acting as a procurement agent. Hence, Champak is not an agent of Prithvi Enterprise for supply of goods under the Schedule 1. It is not covered under Schedule 1 because that invoice is not on the name of Champak. It is on the name of Prithvi Enterprise, means principal. Right? Okay. The next question is composite supply. Shivaji Private Limited, a registered supplier, supply the following goods and services for construction of building and the complexes. So there is a machine like excavators for required period at per hour hour. So this is a construction machine, and manpower for operation of excavator along with that machine at per hour rate. The next is soil testing and the seismic evaluation at per sample rate. That excavator are invariably hired out along with the operator. What they are saying, when we send this excavator, then the manpower always go along with it. That manpower always along go with it. We are talking about these 2 points. Similarly, excavator operator are supplied only when the excavator is hired out. So these are always sent together. These are always sent together. So this is a composite supply. Here principal supply is that of excavator. This is main. This is principal supply. So taxable at rate of principal supply. Now the next is, so for this month, detail is given that hire charges for excavator is 18 lakh rupees, services charge for supply of manpower for operation of excavator is 20,000 rupees, and service charges for the soil testing and the seismic evaluation at 3 sites is 2,50,000 rupees. So GST rate on excavator is 12%, on the manpower and the seismic evaluation is 18%. But that excavator and manpower is a composite supply. We know that, then it is taxable at rate of principal supply only, that is 12%. So 12% here and 12% here, not 18%. Okay, on soil testing is separate, it is chargeable at rate of 18%. Okay, so 18 lakh, 12%, 20,000 manpower, because composite supply 12%, not 18%. On the soil testing is 18%. So this amount they need to pay under the GST. Is it clear? You can write the note why have you made this statement. I have explained about it, right? The next question is composite and the mixed supply. This is important. See here, Mrs. Kajal, a registered supplier of Jaipur, Rajasthan, has made the following supplies in the month of January. Supply of laptop along with the laptop bag. Supply of laptop along with the laptop bag is a composite supply. Taxable at rate of principal supply. We know that. How much money? For 55,000 rupees. Supply of 1,000 kits at 50 each, amounting to 5 lakh rupees, to Ram Fancy Store in Kota. So each kit consists of 1 hair oil, 1 beauty soap and the 1 hair comb. This is a mixed supply. These are not naturally bundled. Taxable at rate of highest rate. We know that, right? Now 100 kits are given free of cost to Jaipur customer. All are unrelated on the occasion of Mrs. Kajal birthday. Okay, on Kajal birthday, each kit consists of 1 hair oil, 1 beauty soap, and cost of each kit is 35 rupees. And ITC is not taken on these. These are not related. ITC is not taken, so not covered under Schedule 1. It's not supply. Simple, it's not supply. Right. The next is event management services provided free of cost to brother who is wholly depend on her. Now, is supply under the Schedule 1. Okay. For son's marriage function in Indore, cost of providing services 80,000 rupees. The next is 1400 chairs and the 100 coolers is hired to a function garden Ajmer, Rajasthan for 3,30,000 rupees. Okay, including the cost of transportation. So it is a composite supply, but it is exempt. That transportation is exempt because it is provided by the not a GTA. So it is exempt. We know that. Now rates are given here. MTP November 22 question. Okay, so supply of bag along with the laptop. We have to identify the rate of GST here, right? So supply of laptop bag along with the laptop is a composite supply, taxable at the principal supply. Principal rate means 18%. Okay, means 80%. Rate on laptop and the bag is 28%. We take the principal rate. That laptop is main here. That is, laptop is principal here. Now, supply of kits to Ram Fancy Store. It's a mixed supply. On one is 18%, 28% and 12%. We take the highest, means 28%. Okay, rates are given here. You can just see it. Okay, we take the highest rate. It's a mixed supply. We know that. And the free gift to customer is not supply. So rate is nil. And event management services provided free of cost to her brother for his son marriage shall be considered as supply are being provided to a registered person. Since it is an individual supply, taxable at the rate of 5%. That given is above 5%. Okay. The next is chairs and the coolers hired for the function. Again, chair hiring, cooler hiring plus transportation. As we know that transportation is exempt, but we provide services, goods together as a composite supply. It is taxable at rate of principal supply. Even money supply is exempt here. Okay, we apply the rate of main supply, that is chair and the coolers. So 12% is applied on the whole amount, on exempt also. Okay. So transportation services by the Mrs. Kajal are exempt. However, since the chairs and the coolers are hired out along with their transportation, it is a case of a composite supply wherein the principal supply is the hiring of the chairs and the coolers. Accordingly, that transportation services will be taxed at the rate applicable. Okay, then GST is leviable on the both that exempt and taxable supply also. But there is a separate view also. It is possible we take a view that it is not a case of composite supply. In that case, the two services will be taxable, treated as independent services and taxed accordingly. Then in that case, chair and the cooler services is taxable at 12% and that transportation is exempt. If we consider it as a not composite, as a normal supply. Okay, you can give this as a note in exam also. This is ICAI answer. Okay, this is not made by me, this is ICAI answer. You can follow this. Okay, so goodbye.